if I told you there was 35 cars that are going to be added this update? They're going to be returning, releasing, and coming out in the Summit. There is a collection of shop editions, elite bundles, as well as returning Motor Pass cars and Summit vehicles in this update. In fact, if you include returning Summit vehicles, that total goes up by, I think, an extra 6. 41 in total, brand new and returning vehicles. I'm going to tell you about every single one of them in order. This is when we get all of the new cars and all of the old cars. And this time we get all of those old cars for buyable. If you don't know, the Motor Pass has been coming back as buyable vehicles, so you don't have to pay real world money for them. Instead, they're just in the shop, like regular cars. Now, a bunch of Motor Pass cars have come back, so which ones are coming back in this update? Which Summit cars are coming out this update? And which shop vehicles are returning? Head down there, subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. Just check out some of my other content, and please, if you can, there's a fundraiser at the bottom of this video. Do give to that. It's for men's mental health. All that money will go to that charity. And if you can't give, just reach out to someone close to you. Make sure they're okay. And if you're struggling, please reach out. We're trying to hit $1,000 raised by the end of the month as well. So let's begin with the launch week of this brand new update. You boys already know that we've gotten a brand new hobbies vehicle, the Audi TT RS Roadster. This is only obtainable in the hobby system, where you complete all of the brand new skills. I finished it in about like 40 minutes or so. You just go through and you make sure you get all of these done at least once. Once you've done that, you will get the hobbies Audi TT RS. Also today, or well, yesterday, but available today, we have the two brand new rallycross cars. The first one being the Peugeot. The Peugeot, is it the, I forget which one it is, but it's a very cool Peugeot. Is it the 205 Turbo? I'd imagine it is. Also, people have been saying this thing has like a newer engine sound. Let's listen to it. It does sound pretty unique, and the pops are honestly nicer than Motorfest. They need to add those pops to Motorfest. That is cool. And yeah, this is a cool car, and it also comes in a bundle with the Renault Turbo. Now, this thing has a really cool future version, or like a concept version. Oh my god, I ran over oh, the rabbit's fine, the rabbit's fine. There's a cool IRL real-world concept that this thing has, but this one is also very cool, and it's in the bundle with that other car. Very sick, and I will be doing a video on these two things soon. These are brand new to the crew. Also, quick note, these shop cars that I'm going to be talking about, they're not going to be in Motorfest till most likely March, Season 3. But there's a chance these three that I've talked about, the hobbies car and these two, might be in December because they're before the update. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out in December. You know what? Areas like the HQ, they do feel quite nice as areas to be at. Maybe I miss them. Oh well. What else comes out today? Well, we have a couple of cars that the only thing that really connects them is being part of the exact same update and all being the color purple. That begins with the DeLorean DMC-12. This is a creator's car because it belongs to a real world person. It's his car that they recreated in the crew too. Very sick concept for them to do, and I'd love to see more of stuff like that. I believe it's just some content creator who they made his car in the game because he made it all cool and custom, and DeLorean wouldn't say no, obviously. So if you wanted this thing when it came out but couldn't buy the Motor Pass, or joined the game after that Motor Pass and wanted this thing, you can now buy this thing in the crew for regular money. Also part of the Dominion Frozen update was the Lightning Edition Dodge Viper. Now, people confuse this thing for the new one, the Mad Viper, but that one is a different year of Viper. It's actually pretty cool. It's also very purple in its stock variant, and it's now buyable if you wanted this thing. Massive spoiler though, damn. And finally, also buyable from that update is the Mazda RS3, specifically the Supercharged Edition with it's a custom body kit. I mean, this one's all right. It's a custom body kit is what this one is, but it's pretty cool. It's probably one of my least favorite. It's probably low on the list of Motor Pass cars, really. And that is everything that comes out this week in the crew. I lied. Because in the Summit this week, we have the thing I talked about, the Mad Viper. This thing right here, which is actually very, very sick. I want to see this thing in the Crew Motorfest, man. This thing is cool. It's got like the bar there. It's got the holes at the back for something. It's got the 2 turbos sticking out facing back. Very sick car. It's even got the color scheme on the steering wheel. So, oh, carbon fiber as well. Oh, the color scheme is all in here. This thing is out right now in the Summit, so you have to get Platinum in this week's Summit to unlock this thing at the end. So we received this thing on the 22nd of November. Speaking of the 22nd of November, no brand new car additions on the 22nd of November, but we do have 3 returning Motorpass cars in the theme of gold. First is Chris Forsberg's Gold Leader Z. The car that he made because, look, it's all gold. It's a Gold Leader Z. It was the Forsberg Motorpass, the one right before the ones we talked about last time. This thing, pretty cool, but it also comes with the Into the Storm / Blizzard updates. Gold Line McLaren P1 with a custom wide body kit and custom gold pinstripe. And finally, Into the Blizzard's Golden Wings Edition Pontiac Firebird, based on the movie one, right? It's based on the one from the movie. It's not customizable, instead stays exactly like this with the gold custom pinstripe, gold rims, and the gold detailing, like on the lights, and the livery as well. All of that stays. Pretty cool trio, I must say, the gold trio, that all drop on November 22nd. Nothing else that week. Except for in Motorfest, because we get the Jaguar Summit car that week. And that Summit car we actually get to use on the 29th of November. And speaking of the 29th of November, nothing. We've got nothing else that week. No Summit in the Crew Motorfest. We just get the release of the Jag from the Summit prior. In fact, all we do have is the return of the Pagani Huayra Rubicon. That's gonna be on the 29th of November Summit week. So you get the Jag, and then the Summit right after in the Crew 2 is this thing returning, which if you are playing this month in the Crew 2, you should have this thing already because it released in that month. But this thing finds itself on the 29th of November. And you'll actually get this thing on the 6th of December, which also is the drop of the Hoonigan update in the Crew Motorfest. We don't have much information on it, but we've seen the Hoonicorn, and we've seen the brand new that'd suck. The brand new playground area that is being added to Motorfest map for Hoonigan. And that's on the 6th of December. That's everything is to do with Hoonigan, and that's why there's not a lot going on in the Crew 2, because this is a nothing week. Not even a Summit car, not even a drop of a different car. There is nothing this week on the 6th of December for the Crew 2, because all the focus is on the Crew Motorfest. But we are back in action right after, because we have the Corvette. We've got a bundle, the Chevrolet bundle of returning cars. We got the American Legends update, Corvette Gold Nugget Edition, I believe. Yeah, they labeled it wrong in their artwork, but it is the Gold Nugget, which you'd think it'd be part of the gold bundle, but it's not actually gold. They just call it the Gold Nugget for some reason. This thing returns December 13th. And what we also get December 13th is the Chevrolet Camaro SS Bend Edition. The one with the guitar in the back, and I've put speaker wheels on it, but a pretty cool car. I quite like this car. It's got the guitar in the back, and that's pretty cool. And the guitar even lights up at night. This one also comes back on December 13th if you wanted to get this thing or the Corvette. On top of that, the things with American Muscle or even Camaros aren't done that week, because that's the week where the last car that I don't own in this entire game finally comes back. The Camaro ZL1 Rift Edition returns December 13th in the Summit, in the Rollout Summit, the original Summit it came out in. The final car I don't own in the Crew Motorfest. This thing is the Summit car for that week. If you didn't know, this thing is also pretty good in street. It isn't amazing anymore though, but it used to be really, really good. And you will actually get this Summit car if you come Platinum on the 20th of December. But a lot goes on that week. so prepare yourself. I'm gonna get the boring stuff out of the way with first. The two Porsches. We had Camaro bundle before, now we get two Porsches returning together. The first being American Legends, the Splatter Edition 911 GT3 RS. It's unique, it's got mismatched rims, and it's a pretty cool custom body kit. And it comes out with Into the Blizzard's Porsche Silvery Edition. It's got the, like, two-tone color scheme, like a bluey green, and the silver design. It's pretty... Oh, I was not expecting that to be solid. It's pretty nice, and this thing comes out with the Porsche Splatter Edition the same time. So if you wanted these cars, you can get them then. But this week is when we finally get a new shop car in the Crew 2. We get the Gordan Murray T50. An absolutely beautiful car. I don't think they're gonna nail the engine sound, but that thing is a beauty. It's amazing. I love it. It's by the designer of the McLaren F1, which is why it's got something similar to it. The back of it is amazing. It's a great car. I cannot wait for it to be added, and it's gonna be added December 20th. Not only that, we also get the Gordan Murray T50S, which, if you do some detective work, suggested by a viewer, very smart suggestion, the T50 hypercar. If you look at the tires on the T50S, this one's going to be in touring car because of the compound of the stock tires. I am very much looking forward to those. That's going to be very cool. That's going to be very, very, very sick. And that's going to be the first major car drop. Also, for the record, we don't know how the Hoonigan update is going to work, when the Summit cars are going to be, when whatever's going to be in Motorfest, so I'm going to not mention anything about Motorfest from now. But that's the end of December 20th. Next, we move on to December 27th. A couple more hypercars come back this time around. First, we've got one of the Blizzard updates or whatever's EB110 Anodized Edition. Custom body kit. It looks nice. Mine's a German police car. Oh, sorry, French police car, I think. I don't actually know. But this thing is actually quite nice. Then we have the Proto Lucky One coming back. A concept car from American Legends made by the Crew 2. You guys should definitely check out the way this car looks when you open its doors. It's kind of sick. But this thing, very, very cool. Also comes back the 27th of December. And one that's way more important to be coming back, the best hypercar in the game. This thing and the Divine Edition. Now, the Divine doesn't come back for a while, but this thing is one of the best hypercars in the entire of the Crew 2. It's the best for handling, so shorter events. If you want a longer event car, that's still gonna be the Divine Edition. But if you've got shorter events, this thing is the car to go for. The Tempesta, the creator's Tempesta. I don't know why I said this thing's name like it's James Bond. But the EB110 isn't the only Bugatti out that week, because we also have the Bugatti Deep Blue. This thing also comes out that week in the Summit as a returning Summit car on the 27th of December. This is also the first time this thing returns, I believe. Then, 2 days after my birthday, on January 3rd, we have two Forsberg cars coming back. The Dominion Forsberg Nissan 370Z Safari or whatever in Rallycross. This thing comes back as well. Ow, ow, ow. Whoa, ow. Alright, ow. As well as the Nissan GTR Forsberg Nismo something or other in touring car. This thing also comes out that very same day, January 3rd. So, nothing else really going on that day, though. There's literally nothing. It's just these two cars returning. January 10th, on the other hand, we get the Audi RSQ8 and the Land Rover Defender 110 V8. Both drop on January 10th. There is a Summit car this week as well, but January 10th gets those two cars. The Land Rover Defender and the RSQ8. Woo! Yay! I mean, people like them. People like them, apparently. I'm just hoping for customization, but I don't know. People like those cars, apparently. I don't know why. And this week also has the luxury SUV Summit with the brand new Porsche Cayenne. I don't know if I think it's like the Basalt edition or something. That thing also comes out this week, just January 10th in the Crew. It makes sense, right? Two SUVs that are more They're both street, by the way. Just to clarify, they're both street. You can tell by the tires. The Land Rover Defender and the Audi RSQ8, they're both street. And the Cayenne is getting a Summit Edition. It makes sense. It's a whole SUVs themed week, I guess, January 10th, because we also get the Cayenne Basalt Edition. And of course, you can drive the Cayenne Basalt Edition a week after on January 17th. But what else comes January 17th? Well, with a theme of American muscle cars, first we get the return, the Dodge, whichever one this is, Challenger, Charger, I think it's the Challenger, right? This thing comes back, the Awaken Edition, with exhaust in the rear lights, lizard eyes on the front, and a very interesting looking wide body. This thing makes its return from the American Legends update on January 17th. So if you didn't buy this thing or get this thing when it came out, you can get it now. And it comes out in the same week, most likely in a bundle, with the Dodge Charger Lab Edition as well. This one's normally themed after one side being black, one side being white, and the secondary color red, as you can see by the detailing. This thing's pretty alright. It's just a custom Charger is all it is, the SRT8. Not the Red-Eye Hellcat, but it was a new Charger that they added. I believe in the Storm or Blizzard update is when this one came out. And it's not it for... Oh, well, definitely is American Muscle if we're sliding out in a boaty car. It's not it for American Muscle, because the last car this week is also from American Legends, the Mustang GT Fastback Stunt Edition that comes out this same week. Now, you can't really tell because of the livery I have on, but this one is like a reddish color, and it has like scar. It's got like a scar on one of the eyes, but I can't actually see. It looks cool though. It looks cool. Trust me, this thing is cool. And if you didn't get this thing when it first came out, you can get it now. Mine does in fact have a UFO hovering over it, which is fun. Definitely fun. Oh, fun. No Summit car or anything though. No car drop. Just returning cars that week. Next week, January 24th, is a slow one. All we get is the return of this thing. Now, this thing is buyable in the Crew Motorfest because it came out with Prime, Amazon Prime. It was an Amazon Prime exclusive bundle or whatever, and now it's buyable. But the Plymouth Roadrunner Edition, well, no, sorry, the Plymouth Freedom Edition comes out that week, January 24th. So if you wanted to get this car, you can get that week. January 24th in the World of Cars Summit. But when will you be able to play with this thing? Well, that'll be a week after. That'll be on January 31st. And that week is another slow week because nothing else happens except for the return of this thing. No bundle, no nothing. The only vehicle coming out, returning, is Into the Blizzards or Into the Storm, either ones. Mitsubishi FTO, the absolute stinker of a car. Front wheel drive, Supra clone. This thing is just, it's a mess, but it's fun, right? The Neon Edition, or the Nebula, that's what it is. The Nebula is the one that comes back. It's a bit of fun, it's whatever. Nothing else goes on that week, not even a Summit car, just the return of this thing. Surprising when there's like 41 cars involved with this update, but this is the only, but then there's a week with only one, 2 weeks with only one car. Strange. Did I say 2? I meant 3. Because all that's going on February 17th is the return of the Red Duchess. Now, all I can assume is stuff is going on in Motorfest at this point. Because why would this be so sluggishly slow? There is nothing going on. But obviously we'll be getting year 1 pass cars in the Crew Motorfest as well, and probably be in the 2nd month of the Motorfest update. No, third month of the Motorfest update at that point, the Hoonigan one. But this thing returns in the Summit. This is a Summit car in LA Lowriders. We get this thing on February 7th. Who's a Ferrari? What is that thing doing here? And why did he teleport to me? And why did this horn go so hard? They removed this horn in Motorfest, by the way. Absolute banger, but they removed it. On February 14th, we see another returning duo. This one with a theme again. We have the Celine Icebreaker edition returning with the Celine Glacier edition. 2 cold Celines. I didn't even realize there was 2 cold Celines as a thing. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to the fact that both of these were Celines in the first place. But yes, 2 very chilly Celines return on that day. Both are from the, I believe, the Forsberg update. This one was Forsberg 2. Forsberg 1 was the other Celine, I want to say. Both return on February 14th with nothing else, really. Nothing else, really. Oh, wait, no, hang on, I lied. Cars we haven't even seen yet drop this week. The last shop editions, 3 of them together. We get the Porsche 356 1948. We get the Porsche 911 Carrera RS27 1972, and the Porsche 959 in street. Those all drop February 14th, most likely as a elite bundle. On Feb 14th, the same day, we get these very, very chilly Celines. And finally, the update's going to be coming to an end very, very much around this point in time. It's been going on for a while already. It's a 4-month update. We get the return of the Need a Ride Summit with the DeLorean DMC-12 in Monster Truck. One of the unique Summit cars because it features customization, as well as color changing, all of the different customization aspects, and is a spec swap like the Ferrari F12 TDF and the Huracan Performante. All 3 of these cars are spec swaps, meaning they are a Summit car, which is just a car from a different spec put in a different spec. Motorfest made 2 of those buyable, this one not. So this one still behind the Summit even in Motorfest. The DeLorean DMC-12 releases that week, February 21st. That's all that comes out that week. And finally, a week after that when we receive this thing, if you come platinum, is the BMW i8 Roadster Stellar Edition, famed for making a silly engine sound. I don't know if you can hear it. It's really subtle. It makes like a wee, 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 wee. This thing comes out, and I can't gauge the connection between these two because it releases with the KTM Expo Raw Edition. I think these 2 are both the same update. I want to say they're both American legends, and I think that's all that connects it, because I don't know, but I don't really remember for the KTM. But that's all I can really piece together. That was cool. And those are the 41 cars coming out this update. Thank you to popular members, a special thank you to famous members, and an insane thank you to star members, Grim Pepper and Danimal the Manimal, and a massive, massive thank you to Icon member HK. That's gonna be about it for me, boys, in a bit.